In this video, we'll explore the difference between WooCommerce versus Shopify. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so throughout this video, we'll be exploring the hosted version of WooCommerce using WooExpress, right? And then we'll just be using Shopify, right? Just to give you a bit of context, here at AOVO, we create plugins for WooCommerce, and we've been doing this for well over 4 years. And we've seen customers come from Shopify over to WooCommerce, and also customers leave WooCommerce to go to Shopify. So what I'm going to be sharing throughout this video is based on that type of experience, right? So one of the main reasons why store owners typically leave WooCommerce for Shopify is mainly ease of use, right? And maintenance. So here we are in our hosted WooCommerce site, and it is a bit of a learning curve to get your head around like where things are and how to actually do things. And I think what doesn't help with this type of issue is, so when you go for the hosted version of WooCommerce, for example, the layout's slightly different to the open source self-hosted WooCommerce version. So typically someone would read a tutorial around the web, which is based on the self-hosted version. But if they're on the hosted version powered by WordPress.com, the layout's slightly different, as I said, so that can cause some confusion. But typically we'll just go products, add new products. I think this process is pretty straightforward. That's maybe because I'm familiar with it, but yeah, you just enter in your product name, a description, you'll add your price. You get to choose whether it's a variable product, right? And then we can add our attributes. We can add our category, our product images, and on Shopify, it's a similar concept. So we can just click add new products here, or we can just navigate over to products. We enter in our product name, description, add our media, add the pricing. As you can see straight away, I think this layout is a lot more intuitive, right? Everything's exactly where you'd expect it. It's front of mind, right? So you can't really go wrong with this type of setup. So when it comes to ease of use, I think Shopify definitely wins over WordPress. Another key area where I see customers leave Shopify to go to WooCommerce is the ability to customize their storefront, right? So a lot of basic features which you'll get in WooCommerce, you'll have to pay quite a bit more to get a similar functionality in Shopify. And I'll give you a key example. So let's just quickly head over to Shopify here. Let's go pricing. A lot of customers that we see, they want more control over the checkout experience, right? They want to further customize the checkout. But to do so, you need to be on Shopify Plus, which here you can see it starts from $2,300 a month, which depending on your situation might be cheap or might be expensive. However, to get the same type of functionality, but you can get a similar type of customization using a free plugin like our all-in-one checkout plugin, right? So with this plugin, you'll have greater control over your checkout experience. You'll be able to optimize the checkout page, right? So you can have a similar look and feel to Shopify, which is renowned for having one of the best conversion rates in the industry. So you can have some of the best components of Shopify and replicate it onto your WooCommerce store. So I think when it comes to customization, so hands down, WooCommerce wins. And if there isn't a function or a plugin that you need, it's a lot cheaper to get a custom plugin built on WooCommerce than it is to actually get done on Shopify. So I think that's a clear win for WooCommerce. However, if cost not an issue, then you can get similar customization on Shopify as well. I should mention that when it comes to customization, the apps on Shopify are a lot more expensive than what you'll get on WooCommerce. So the overall cost will be lower on WooCommerce. We can go ahead and search for a plugin, right? Let's say, for example, we wanted a variation swatch plugin, right? We can just search for variation swatch, and then we can go ahead and select our very own variation swatches plugin for free, right? If I'm not mistaken, there's well over 55,000 different plugins available for WordPress. So customization, again, as I said, hands down, WooCommerce wins in that area. Okay, so how about scalability? When it comes to scalability, one could say that Shopify wins in this department, right? Since it's a hosted platform, it's built to handle some of the largest stores in e-commerce. For example, huge e-commerce store like Gymshark use Shopify to power their e-commerce experience, right? When it comes to scalability, you can get a similar type of performance on your WooCommerce store, but it all comes down to hosting. So if we go to Woo, All right, so if we go to WooCommerce and then hosting, so currently they're recommending these hosting providers, right? So you can go with any of these, or you can choose another hosting company that's not recommended here. The main difference is, let's say, for example, we click on SiteGround. If you go with the shared hosting plan, here it's saying, let's just call it $4, right, a month. You can't expect enterprise performance for this type of pricing. If you want a serious performance, and when it comes to hosting, then maybe you'll go with something like WP Engine, right? So as you can see, the more visitors that you actually get to your site a month, the more expensive it will be. So when it comes to scalability, that kind of depends on your hosting solution, right? So making sure you got enough resource to be able to manage that traffic. Or you can go with the Woo Express hosted solution, which is supposed to scale as your e-commerce site scale, right? But I think it's a clear win for Shopify in terms of scalability. You don't have to deal with these different headaches of whether the hosting plan that you've got will be able to handle the amount of traffic you'll be getting. But again, if you're not getting hundreds of thousands of visitors to your website, then it's not an issue anyway. You'll be fine. Now let's have a look at themes. When it comes to themes, I think WooCommerce definitely win here. And one of the main reasons is, one, for similar type of themes, you can just get it for a lot cheaper on WooCommerce as opposed to Shopify. For example, this, well, what I would call a basic theme here will cost you $360. Whereas a theme like this on WooCommerce, you'll probably get for free. And if you want a premium theme, we can go to third-party stores like Theme Forest, and let's go ahead and search WordPress. Then we'll go e-commerce if I can find it. Yep, e-commerce. Okay, and as I said, for a lot more comprehensive themes, for example, this is a one-time. It's almost criminal to be charging so little for what you're getting. But yeah, as I said, for a one-time theme, you can get this type of theme for $48. And here we've got themes like this for $49. As you can see, this has had over 236,000 sales of this particular theme. Again, if you was to go with Shopify, maybe you'll be paying like $600 for this theme easily, right? So I guess the theme here is that when it comes to customization, WooCommerce definitely win. And as I said, that's one of the main reasons I hear from customers that leave Shopify to come to WooCommerce. It's just the customization, and the overall cost of running their e-commerce store is a lot cheaper on WooCommerce if you set things up correctly. So yeah, it's a definite win for WooCommerce here. So now let's have a look at the pricing, and then we'll have a look at payment options. So when it comes to pricing, if you go for the hosted solution that WooCommerce offers, it's pretty similar to what you get on Shopify, especially starting off. Okay, so when it comes to pricing, it's quite similar when compared to Shopify. So if you go for the hosted solution, it's $39 a month, right? If you go for the performance solution, then it's $70 a month, and you'll get a discount if you pay annually as well. And it's a similar thing with Shopify. So let's head back over to Shopify. All right, and at the time of recording this, the pricing is quite similar. So currently this is showing in pounds, right? But if you convert it to dollars, this is cheaper when it comes to dollars. So if you go for the self-hosted version of WooCommerce, then essentially you can download the WooCommerce plugin for free, right? So if we just go WooCommerce, then here we can go ahead and download this for free. And then we can just get a hosting. You can go for a cheap hosting on HostSinger. Here it will probably cost us like $5 a month. So essentially you can get started on WooCommerce for as little as $5 a month if you go for the self-hosted version. And it's pretty straightforward as well to set everything up. So in terms of pricing, I think WooCommerce wins hands down in that department, right? So if you structure things correctly, then you can get it a lot cheaper than Shopify. All right, so now when it comes to payment options, so you can install various different payment apps on Shopify. However, I think WooCommerce has more variety and it's cheaper as well. If we head back over to the pricing here, So they integrate with Stripe as well. So typically they charge a fixed amount of 2% on top of what Stripe will charge you, right? I'm not too sure the situation when it comes to WooPayments. However, I'm aware that you can just download the Stripe app directly onto your store. So you're not adding that extra fee that's charged by WooCommerce, right? The same as, for example, the Shopify payment option is powered by Stripe. So again, Stripe is charging their fee, and then obviously Shopify is charging a fee on top of the Stripe's payment fee. It's a similar thing with the WooPayments as well. However, as I said, if you just download the Stripe app directly, then you'll just cut out that extra fee that's been added by these platforms, right? So I think WooCommerce definitely win again in that department. So I guess to summarize, if you want more customizations, then WooCommerce definitely win. However, if ease of use is more important to you, then I'll definitely go for Shopify, right? Their managed solution just makes it easier to focus on what it is you're actually selling and the service that you're providing, right? Whereas with WooCommerce, you have to kind of keep on top of plugin updates, compatibility issues, and various other issues, right? So as I said, customization, definitely go for WooCommerce. Ease of use, go with Shopify. If cost is the main driver of your decision, then again, go for WooCommerce as well. I should mention that if at any point, let's say, for example, you start with Shopify, down the line, you can switch to WooCommerce. Or if you go with WooCommerce, you can also just switch to Shopify as well. There's various different services that will allow you to easily migrate your store from one platform to another platform. One final thing before we fully wrap up is SEO. I think out the box, you'll have a better optimized SEO store with WooCommerce than with Shopify. However, with both these platforms, you can download SEO apps to help your SEO presence online, right? But I think WooCommerce just about win when it comes to SEO, right? Just because it's easier to get up and running and the cost is a lot cheaper as well.